Hello you guys, today the history has been made. A 16 years old Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa of India has beaten the reigning world champion Magnus Calrsen of Norway. So this is a very big thing and we'll try to analyze the game. So let's straightly dive into the game. So Praggnanandhaa has a black pieces and Magnus Calrsen has a white pieces. So the game features the queen gambit decline with knight f3 variation. So we have d4, knight f6, c4 and e6, and we have knight to f3 and d5. Then we have knight to c3 and c5. Then we have e6 and knight to c6. Then we have trade in the center, and then we have bishop to b5 and again trade in the center. Then we have bishop to d6 and castles and h3 and s6 simultaneously, not allowing bishop to g4 and g5. Then we have rook to e1 and bishop to f5, the more scope he has. Then we have knight to e5, so threatening to win a pawn. So Magnus Praggnanandhaa defend by rook to c8, and then we have bishop to f4 and rook to e8. Then we have rook to c1 and Praggnanandhaa developed his last piece, which is the queen, and he plays queen to b6. Then Magnus Calrsen transformed the position by taking bishop takes knight, and then we have pawn takes a bishop, and then we have knight to a4 attacking the queen, and queen goes to a6. Then we have rook to e3, good move by Magnus Calrsen because he can shift the rook anytime to g file, or he can even develop here. So we have knight to e4, good move by Prag. Then we have an inaccurate move by Magnus Calrsen, which is f3. Instead of f3, you can either go to d3 to c5 and have an outpost there, but he plays f3, and then we have knight to g5, and then we have rook e to c3, which is also an inaccurate move. It looks like you're attacking the pawn, but it is not free to grab. We have bishop to b7. Now if you take with the knight, you are just losing with bishop takes because this piece is hanged. And if you take with the rook, after rook takes and rook takes, bishop takes, you just remove the defender of the rook and you are just now up a piece. So after this, Magnus plays bishop back to h2 because he just want to grab like that. Then we have knight e6, and he plays knight captures on c6, which is an blunder. Why? Because after bishop takes and this takes, let's say king takes, you can play knight to f4, and after, let's say he retreats, you can just grab and attack, and where the knight goes, let's say hook goes here, you can play this move attacking this. And if you play any moves such as defending this, he have bishop takes on h3, just bust opening everything. So that will be the clearly losing position here. So let's straightly dive into the game again. So after knight takes, Prag blundered by playing knight to f4 directly. He didn't take. So we have knight back to e5, then we have pawn takes and pawn takes, and then we have knight to d3. Then we have rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes, and then we have bishop to g3, and then we have pawn to d4. Then we have b3 and queen to c6. Then we have queen to d2, and then we have king to h7, and then we have king to h2. Then we have bishop to g6, and then we have queen to a5, and then queen to c1 and pawn takes on a7. The position looks good for Magnus, but Prag has a pawn which is very much near to get promoted. So Prag defend the pawn by playing queen to e3, and then we have a big blunder by Magnus Calrsen playing knight to c3. He thought if he takes, he's angling the queen and he wants to just centralize the knight like that, but he just misses the brilliant idea by Prag, which was knight to f4. Now you can't grab the knight because after takes and takes and this move, you are just losing a piece. And after knight there, Magnus tries knight to d1, and after queen to d2, knight to f2, and the brilliant move again, knight to e2, and then we have h4. He's just trying to escape, but after queen to e1, he has to part away with his piece now, because if you take it, it will make no better. And he has he just took a pawn, and then we have a check, and after king to h3 and knight to e3 and queen to b2, the final blow, bishop to c2 and bishop to c7, bishop to c2, and it was in this position the Magnus Carlsen resigned the game because he had nothing to do. Wherever he moves the knight, many moves are coming and it would end in a checkmate. So this was a game, a brilliant game by Praggnanandhaa, and not believing in Magnus Carlsen and his moves. So thank you all for tolerating it. So see you soon all. So have an excellent rest of your day.